Recovery efforts are underway in Florida in the aftermath of Hurricane Ian. All day, rescue crews have been wading through water and using boats to rescue people who are stranded. And when you see that devastation, it is hard to look at. The storm, of one of the most powerful ones to hit the U.S., left many neighborhoods there flooded, major roadways wiped out, and more than 2 million people without power. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis said the U.S. Coast Guard began rescue operations hours before daybreak today. As of now, at least one person in Florida has been confirmed dead on the state's eastern coast. But officials do fear that many other lives may have been lost. Flooding rains continued falling even after Ian was downgraded to a tropical storm. While dozens of search and rescue teams are out helping get survivors to safety, thousands of National Guard members have been activated to go in and help. FEMA administrators will be on the ground in Florida tomorrow to assess the damage and also meet with local officials. Let's go ahead and give you a live look now at the conditions in Jacksonville, Florida. A much different picture than what we were seeing yesterday. This is, of course, on a different coast there, but that camera is shaking around in the wind and gray skies, of course. So while a lot of communities are just trying to recover, the Carolinas are preparing for Ian to make its way up north. So we're going to bring in Chief Meteorologist Tara Lane. What kind of impacts do you think that we're going to see here from Ian?
Just like we've been talking about the past couple of days, not much of a change. We're still talking about the heavy rain leading to some flooding and the strong wind gusts too. And it looks like more of an issue could develop from some of those higher wind gusts that could affect us even more than what we were earlier thinking. Upwards of 50 to 60 miles an hour of wind gusts will be possible as we go through the day tomorrow. Now, talking about Ian, and at last check, it's moving back over water. And so it's working with the warm water, that fuel, to maybe even get this system a little bit stronger and possibly becoming that Category 1 hurricane by the time it makes a second landfall along the South Carolina coast. That would happen tomorrow. So for now, you can see that sustained wind speed is already up to 70 miles an hour. Movement to the north-northeast slow at close to 10 miles an hour. Forecast track, and you can see has it becoming a Category 1 hurricane once it gets that wind speed of at least 74 miles an hour, lifting up to the north. Those hurricane warnings, watches, tropical storm warnings in effect right along the coast, and it could make that landfall maybe around the Charleston area, that part of the coastline, and then moving to the north, rapidly getting weaker as we move into the day tomorrow, but still pushing in all of that tropical moisture and the wind as well. So we have multiple watches and warnings in effect for our area. Flood watch for most counties in our area. And this is why we've got those high rainfall totals expected, upwards of 3 to 4, maybe close to 5 inches, especially from, say, the I-77 corridor near I-40 and off to the east. We may end up not seeing quite as much up into the mountains as earlier predicted, because that swath of heavy rain will be moving in from the south and east and affecting those areas first. We also have that tropical storm warning due to some of those projected wind gusts possible, also in effect for most of our area, wherever we see the red there, up to 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. And where we do not have a tropical storm warning in effect, we've got a wind advisory in effect up through the foothills down through Cleveland County. Still, gusts to 40 to 50 miles an hour are possible. And even today, we were talking about this yesterday, the wind will be cranking, and sure enough, it has. I mean, 43-mile-an-hour wind gusts reported in the Concord area, and you can see how those numbers remain elevated through the day tomorrow and tomorrow night, early Saturday morning. When does the rain start to move in? And notice temperatures plotting those as well. They're going to stay on the cool side. 50s during the day tomorrow. Rain starts to move in late tonight. Tomorrow morning, most of us waking up to some sort of rain, whether it's light to moderate to heavy. And that will, as I said, continue to overspread the area through the afternoon and evening. Now, all this talk about wind and heavy rain, obviously that's going to lead to some issues at home and on the roads. Let's head on